Om Tat Sat. Good evening and namaste to all. Shall we continue with our stories? Stories by GrandPa. Animals in lives of eminent personalities. Now today, this story will be an anecdote in the life of Manu, Neethi, Chozhan. Now this Manu, Neethi is not his name. It's a title that became attached with him, with his name, appreciating his judiciousness, his firm justice, his passion to deliver justice to all subjects of his empire. Manu, Neethi. He ruled over the empire guided by the Manu Dharma Shastram. Now, Manu, Neethi, Chozhan. Chozhan is one of the three main empires in present-day Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Chera, Chola, and Pandya. The present-day Tamil Nadu, western parts of Tamil Nadu, and northern parts of Kerala, they belonged to Chera dynasty, Chera empire. The Pandya empire was the southernmost part of the peninsular part of Bharat, and the middle portions, Tirchi, Tanjavur, and the coastal regions, they belonged to Chola Empire. There were great kings in all the three empires, very prominent and reputed for various qualities. Now this Manu, Neethi Chozhan is one of the Chola kings. He ruled over the Chola kingdom almost 2000 years back. His real name was Ellalan, but this title name became so popular, mentioned in so many poems and writings of great men, that the original name in present day it is not known to many. Manu, Neethi Chozhan is more known. His passion for justice was so great that his statue, a majestic, tall statue, adorns the space in front of High Court, Tamil Nadu High Court in Chennai. He stood for justice. He was an idol of justice. Now, he ruled over the empire in a judicious way, guided by firm justice. He was loved by his subjects. He wanted to make an arrangement whereby anyone with a complaint against the king, against officers, or against ministers may approach the court. So the matter was discussed and it was decided to hang a bell, a huge bell, in front of the palace on the main roads. A long rope was tied from the bell within the reach of anyone So it was expected and it was declared that the one with complaint can ring the bell at any part, any time of the day, and the king will instantly appear there near the bell, and the court will be assembled to sit in judgment. This was the arrangement. But his rule was so judicious, none was dissatisfied for many years. That was the time when, even they say, creeper had grown on the rope because it was never used. No, these were the days when the king had no children, and he got a child, a son, after a long wait, very late in his age. So he loved his son. He himself supervised training of his son, textual training, scriptural training, military training, and administrative training. And the son was bright. He was shaping into a very bright king, for future king for the empire. This child, this son, the prince, one day he took the chariot and he rode on the highways. Now, he was very good, he had good virtues, but the position, the, the position of a prince, any position for that matter, it kindles arrogance in us. The position, that is the natural way it happens. Our prince, modern day prince, son of Indira Gandhi, Sanjay Gandhi, he used to ride at very fast pace from his residence in Delhi to his factory site, Maruti factory in Gurgaon, almost a distance of 40-45 kilometers. He used to ride at a fast pace, and there were stories that children and persons from the poor hutments who slept on the highway, on the sides of the road, many of them got crushed under his speeding vehicle, the wheels of his speeding vehicle. So this arrogance, it's a natural accomplice of persons wielding high positions. This prince also, in spite of all his good virtues, he drove at a very blinding speed. It almost blinded his reason when suddenly a calf appeared on the road and the king could not control it. His chariot ran over the calf and the calf was killed. The mother cow, it was in tears, it went around the calf's body. The prince was also good. He, in a desperate mood, he was in despair and sat beside the body of the calf. The cow went, mother cow went and pulled the rope and rang the bell. Now the sound of the bell was in the palace, and it had become unused for so many years. So this sound created surprise and a fast reaction by all. King came rushing to the spot and he saw a cow ringing the bell. There is a poet who describes this. Probably the cow was eating the creeper but it had tears in his eyes, inner eyes. Then as soon as the king and his cabinet appeared, the cow started walking and the king followed the cow. And cow reached the spot where the calf was on the road, lay on the road in pool of blood. And the prince was nearby. Now the court said there, it was evident that prince had driven the cart, the chariot, and the offense was by the prince. And rules demanded that the offender be killed in the same way as the victim. That was the judgment delivered by the king. And the officers and the ministers, one by one, they all rejected, they refused to draw the chariot. They said, we can't. And it's after all an animal. So this law need not be applied on the prince. Maybe if it was a human, we could have done that. But this was a mere animal. So he should be exempted from this punishment. But the king was firm in his justice and he said, I'll drive the chariot myself. He sat on the chariot, laid the prince on the road, and he came from a distance at full speed and ran over his son, very dear son, bright son, the son whom he begot after so many years. But justice, that was the firm conviction of this king. And the story goes that the Lord appeared and both the calf and the prince were brought back to their lives. That's a different story. But the main point of this whole episode is the passion for justice in the heart of the king. Manu, Neethi, Chozhan. Justice even for animals, the aggrieved animals, not necessarily for humans. Justice for animals too. That is the highest ideal for a ruler. So let us conclude this story for the day, and we'll continue with this series with one more story tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.